Alright, in the last video I talked about the items in your kit that you need for the basic items, the 5 basic items you need for surviving in a wilderness environment, in an urban environment, just what your body actually needs to survive. So I'm going to show you right now how to use the Ferro rod. It helps if you have tinder with you in your kit. I brought out some dryer lint that'll serve as my tinder. But you could use natural materials like this. You can probably strike that off with the Ferro rod. Remember, you run the back of your knife across this and it makes sparks that are way hotter than flint. And it will light natural materials if you process it into finer fibers. So right now we're going to talk about the basics of fire starting. And we're going to go ahead and use this to do it. So I've already gathered all my materials. You gather all your materials, all your wood and everything before you start the fire. Nothing sucks more than getting ignition and then having to run around and grab stuff to feed your fire because you weren't prepared. So here I started with the tinder. This is some really dry stuff that I found. I'm thinking it's probably going to strike off. And then I grabbed some matchstick size kindling here, little sticks. This probably isn't processed well enough, but I'm sure it'll work. Here, we want to go from matchstick size to pencil sized wood. It's a process. You start with the tinder to and the tinder ignites the matchstick sized wood. The matchstick sized wood ignites the pencil sized wood. The pencil sized sticks ignite the thumb sized sticks, and so on. You build up to full size logs. Okay. Obviously, it's 100 degrees out right now. I'm not thinking about fire to keep warm, but I am thinking about fire to boil water and maybe cook some food. Okay. So I'm in my backyard right now. It's way too hot to be out in the woods. We canceled the trip to the woods today because of the weather. So let's go ahead and start preparing the fire. Let's see. First, you're going to start with your tinder bundle. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to make a bird's nest out of it, or something similar to a bird's nest. You kind of want to process it so that you can expose more of the fibrous material. You want to turn it into a more fibrous material. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. You want to shape it kind of like into a bird's nest by twisting it up. You want it kind of tight. I still want a little bit of airflow, but I want it pretty tight. So here's what we got right here. Looking pretty good, guys. Got some of this other stuff that I processed a little earlier on. Go ahead and stick that in the middle. So here's what we got. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. I got some sticks that aren't fully ready here. Where's my baton? Here we go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this log right here and this stick, my knife. I'm going to baton that down. Alright. If you do this multiple times, you get the inside of a log. If the log is wet, you're going to want to split this down and use the inner portions to ignite. These logs are dry, or 6 pieces of wood are dry here. So I'm just doing it for size, so I have the proper size sticks. I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. Try to get it down to size here. Oh. Alright, we're getting some little stuff here, that's good. Obviously, if I want a big fire that's going to last me through the night and keep me warm, or cook my meals, I'm going to want more wood than this. But you can go ahead and baton them down all the way to pencil size. Just be careful you don't injure yourself. If you're in a bad situation, a mechanical injury is just going to make things that much worse. So you went from, you know, self-reliance to actually trying to survive because you got injured. Nah, okay, that one's probably pretty good there. Okay. Always sheath your knife. That way you don't step on it or damage your knife or lean on it and cut yourself. Got some of these logs here. Keep them, try to keep them organized. That way you don't mess everything up. Got some dead grass here just in case I want to throw some of that on if it starts to not work out, which it should work out. So I'm going to go ahead and put some tinder that I brought, which was the dryer lint. I'm just going to go ahead and try to help things along by putting it in the middle of the bird's nest here. So when I strike off my tinder, or my ferro rod here, I'm going to use the back 90-degree edge on my knife. You can use a hacksaw blade. A lot of them come attached to the ferro rods. You can use, if your Swiss Army knife has an owl on it, especially if it's sharpened, it'll work really well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. You're going to want to hold your knife steady and pull the ferro rod towards you using the corner of your knife, and it'll strike off sparks like such. Don't try to. We usually don't like to throw our knife towards the tinder because we'll knock the tinder. We might snuff out whatever embers we created in the tinder, so, or knock the tinder off somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to start the fire. Got on there. Let's see if it catches still. We got some time with it. And I don't know if that one's gonna make it, guys. Might have a loose tinder bundle there a little bit, but come on. There we go. Now that we've got that going, it's time to get the sticks. We don't want to smother this with our sticks, make sure the knife's safe. But we want to get the matchstick sized stuff on there. Once we start getting that matchstick stuff on there and it starts igniting, we want to get the pencil size stuff on there. The key here is not to smother your fire out. I probably should have used a rock or something to get some ventilation. A little smoke in the eye. All right. Remember I saved some of my tinder bundle. So I'm going to go ahead and try to use that to give this thing CPR if I need to. See, I'm laying them in cross sections here to try to keep ventilation going. This is a really beginner video for you guys. We got some fire. I didn't put any thought really into using this for cooking or anything like that. The setup is a little bit basic in general, just so you guys could see how to get actual flame and ignition. That's pretty much it. If I wanted, if I wanted to get some cooking going, I might try to make a bed of coals. But here we go. We have some good fire. I think the ferro rod works pretty well. Especially, we could have gotten off this natural tinder without the use of the smoke coming out here. We could have got the natural tinder without the use of the dryer lint to get it going. But that's how you get fire. That's ferro rod fire. I carry it in the kit. I think it's more surefire than the lighters. And there you go. Thanks guys for watching.